Alan
there's Alan
Dershowitz.
Dershowitz, or the Dersh.
The Dersh. The Dersh. I'm just saying that guy is just creepy, man. Like, I'm just saying the dude creeps me out. He creeps me out.
Have you seen the documents of all of the just blatant excuses he comes up with to like drop the age of consent to like 14?
Yeah, and I thought that was really I guess it's one of those cases where it's not damning necessarily, but highly sus, bro.
Yeah, that's very sus.
It's highly sus, dude. Oh man.
Yuck.
But you guys, did you see that video I posted up on Facebook? It was on Twitter. We'll have to pull it up here. Shut up, Elon. Leave me alone.
What did Elon say?
He's asking me if I want to sign up and if I want to make notifications on my desktop. No. Go worry about Tesla. Stop bothering me. All right. Here we go.
No, I had not seen that one yet. I think I saw your link, but I didn't. I didn't get a chance to click on it when I was looking through everything else.
Oh man, that dude. But like, that's what I'm saying. The dude is creepy looking, and then he's all talking about where is it at? Alan Dershowitz. We'll put in age of consent. So we'll not read HuffPost, I guess, because that's obviously already pretty creepy Dershowitz.
Creepy Dershowitz.
Wow. Law.com. There we go. Retired Harvard law professor Alan M. Dershowitz's decision to defend an old column about the legal argument for lowering the age of consent has reignited an uproar within the legal community against the famed attorney. Now seen through the lens of the Me Too movement and Dershowitz's own national scandal involving convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, the decades-old article caused a firestorm on social media where the hashtag Creepy Dershowitz trended amid widespread backlash. Interesting.
God, there's even a hashtag for it.
Right?
Oh yeah, this goes back decades. He's been doing this.
That guy, let's check out just this interview, his most recent interview real quick, and then we can move on. Mm-hmm. Stuff like this is a big part of the QAnon movement. You know what I mean? Because they really think that they're essentially like have been pining over and assuming who's on the list for this whole entire time. And now that it's being released, I'm kind of curious how some of these QAnoners are reacting to it. But let's listen to Dersh himself.
Joining us now, Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz. Professor, you are mentioned in this document. You are mentioned...
Man...
I'm
just saying, dude.
Repeatedly.
Well, but
and various.
He says, "Oh yeah, I did it." Oh, dude, he shows like no remorse.
I mean, it would be different though if with this list, like it actually had what the accusations are against them, or different things, but it's literally just a list of names that are mentioned throughout these 3,000 different documents.
Well, the thing that this, I think, opens up isn't like, okay, we have enough to throw them away and lock the key. This is more than enough evidence for them to do further investigation. And that's where I think the main thing lies here is like, sure, it may not say anything within that document about him doing something specifically, but he's involved so much within all of this. If there were things that were going on that island, he definitely knows about it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Attorney-client privilege.
Specifically,
Dude's dead.
It was the allegation
Exactly.
against
So that
you
goes out
was
the
that
window.
Epstein forced then minor Jane Doe number 3 to have sexual relations with you, and that also you were an eyewitness to sexual abuse of other minors by Epstein.
So we kind of missed that
You
real quick.
have
Did you hear that?
Also, you have sexual against you was that Epstein forced then minor Jane Doe number 3 to have sexual relations with you, and that also you were an eyewitness to sexual abuse of other minors by Epstein. You have been out there vigorously defending your name, your honor, and denying these allegations fiercely. And I want to give you a chance now that it's come out in writing tonight to get your reaction.
Well, first of all, the woman who accused me has now stated categorically that she may have misidentified me, confused me with someone else. And these documents, if all the documents are revealed, will prove categorically that she did misidentify me, that I never met her, never heard of her, never spoke to her. And I can prove it by independent means. I have all my travel records. I have all my television appearances. I can prove that I couldn't possibly have been anywhere near any of the people who were involved in this. I was Epstein's lawyer. Of course, I flew on his plane with Ken Starr, with Roy Black, with other lawyers. We flew to meetings with the U.S. attorney, with the state attorney. And so people have to be very careful about what they're believing and when it happened. For example, as soon as Epstein was shown to be what he was, I ended my personal association with him completely, but I maintained a legal relationship with him. I represented some of the worst people in the world and continue to do so. That's my life. And of course, I represented Epstein. Now, the one point I do want to make is that I understand all the feminist groups and the radicals who think this is the worst thing in the world, that anybody ever had any contact with Jeffrey Epstein. Where are all those radical feminists when it comes to the Hamas rapes?
What?
What in the fuck are you doing? Where did Hamas come in with this?
What? What are you saying, bro?
What in the red herring fuck are you doing?
Just out of nowhere, dude.
Yeah, well, what were you when Hamas was doing all that shit?
So,
Yeah.
I heard this on one of the recent Hassan streams that Dersh is essentially a really hardcore Zionist when it comes to the Israel conflict, Israel and Palestine conflict. So it's kind of funny that, like, this is something that he brings up just out of nowhere, which it's kind of like, even if it wasn't a red herring or there was something relating to this, it's like all of these Twitter feminists point me in the direction of where any of this is happening. I don't understand. Like, you can't even point out a person. You just be like a Twitter feminist like blank who has actually said it. But this is just kind of like, how are we to even verify that, first off, Twitter feminists aren't condemning Hamas? And then additionally, who is it and for what reasons are they not condemning Hamas? I don't know. It's a little weird.
It's just another one of those. Look over here, ignore me.
Right.
That's what it is.
And I think the guy, yeah. If he didn't, I'll just say, if he didn't actually have sexual relations with a minor or whoever, anybody under the I guess control of Jeffrey Epstein, he still knows a lot more than he's leading on, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, and I agree with you on the whole fact of if he does know. Let it finish out.
Silent.
Let it finish.
The incredible hypocrisy of the Me Too movement. Me Too, except if you're a Jew. And I want to have a list of all the radical feminists who are.
He freaking went there, dude. Like,
wow, that's a low blow.
So he's essentially in that statement saying that if you're a part of the Me Too movement, you are automatically anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
What a joke, man. Where's this clown makeup, dude?
Pushing hard. And I understand that to get all these names revealed. And I want to know how many of them have ever actually condemned Hamas for the rapes that we now know occurred and the murders that occurred. How many have been silent? And how many, like the National Lawyers Guild, have actually approved of what Hamas did? So let's put this in context. I'm thrilled that all these papers have come out. I urged them. I went to court. I asked for everything to come out because I knew that I had done nothing wrong and the papers would exculpate me. What I only worry about is that maybe the judges withheld certain documents. I want to make sure every single document comes out, including the documents that cast doubt on the credibility of some of the accusers and some of the accused. The public has the right to see everything and make their own judgment. We do not put the country in guilt by accusation, but guilt by
association.
And then that's what I was getting at. At least he's calling for everything
by the way,
to be
I think that
released
is
and
fair,
not
and
just this or that.
Right. His hair's kind of fucked up
still,
there.
like you, believe that in the presumption of innocence, and I don't rush to judgment. And frankly, on many high-profile cases in this country, this show, starting with Richard Jewell, we've been right. We were right.
I'm just gonna say it. His camera angle is dog shit.
About Duke.
Oh yeah, it is.
We were
hold
right
on.
about.
Want me to fix? You want me to fix
UVA.
mine?
We were right about Ferguson, Missouri, and Freddie Gray in Baltimore because I didn't rush to judgment, and I had impeccable sources. I have known you for years. I don't really know why you like to defend these high-profile clients. Everybody certainly deserves a defense, including Mr. Epstein, including O.J. Simpson, and you and I had wars over Bill Clinton back in the day.
Sure.
You've taken on these high-profile cases. Why? And do you regret it at all? And did you ever see anything untoward about Mr. Epstein?
I never did, and I do regret having ever met Jeffrey Epstein because it caused me the worst few years of my life when
no shit.
I was falsely accused, and I was canceled by the 92nd Street Y, canceled by Temple Emmanuel, and then she ultimately admitted that she may have confused me with someone else, and so things obviously have gotten a lot better. Now, of course, these revelations put my name in the headlines again. But I've never been afraid of that because I have nothing to be afraid of, nothing to be ashamed of. I did nothing wrong. Would I do it again? Not if I knew I was going to be falsely accused. But if not for that, I've represented far worse people. I've represented murderers. I've represented people who have done terrible, terrible things. That's an essential part of our system. If I don't do it, who will? I had tenure. I had an obligation to defend the most controversial, the worst people. Sometimes I won, sometimes I lost, sometimes I created a plea bargain like I did in this case. By the way, Epstein was furious at me for the plea bargain. He wouldn't pay my fee because he thought I had done a terrible job because he ended up going to jail and having to report as a sex offender. The rest of the world thought it was a sweetheart. But that's what criminal defense lawyers do. I'm 85 years old. I hope the good Lord gives me the strength to continue to represent the most despised, the most controversial, the most unpopular people in the world. Look at the hell I got for representing Donald Trump. I did that, and I lost a lot of my friends. And people say to me all the time, oh, I understand Epstein, but not Trump. Or I understand Trump, but not Epstein. You have to understand that the role of the criminal defense lawyer is to defend everybody who's falsely accused.
Well, I'll say this.
Accused or even truthfully accused. Yeah.
I think you're going to be the only one that does have the courage to say, no, it's not true. And you do make a good point. If there's exculpatory information that is not released as part of the information that is being given out by the judge, I think that's unfair to everybody, and that would be unfair to you. And if you believe it's exculpatory, I think the public should see that as well. Professor, thank you.
I don't need any more exculpatory material because the woman has already admitted that she may have clearly misidentified me, and that's enough for me. I'm going on with my life. I'm going to continue to do what I've been doing for years. But thank you, Sean, for an opportunity to present my case.
Okay. So there it was, the Dersh. Do we have any
Dersh.
any other comments?
I don't know. There's not much more you can say about it without kicking a dead horse at this point.
Yeah.